I can just see that being so good. So it is like almost 8 o'clock on Monday, which is January 9th. I didn't actually take photos of anything I ate because this is like the first day and I just wasn't thinking about it. So I didn't even have like a whole thing of coffee when I left this morning because I was kind of running behind because it just took me forever to get out of bed. You can see for breakfast, I had a little bit of coffee, an apple, and some Greek yogurt because that's kind of just what I had on hand because I didn't want to like cook anything. And then I had for lunch my HelloFresh meal that I'd made on Saturday that I just needed to eat. And then after my meeting today, I was already feeling gross, like really gross, like, and I had a headache develop and I was more like right in this area. And I was just like, I can't do this. So I just curled up in bed for a bit, and then afterwards I ended up just ordering wonton soup, as you can see for also. That was what I just wanted wonton soup, and then I also got these cold noodles. Don't know the exact calories. I think how I did it was good. I really, really liked their like Cheongdong cold noodles. It's a Szechuan like base dish. My lips were tingling, but it was just so refreshing. Like it was not a spice where everything feels on fire. It was just like kind of, it was tingling is the best. And I had to stop for a bit because I'm like, this is probably too much, but it was on the saltier side. So like I should have drunk more water today anyway. I want to drink more, so I probably won't have a screenshot for how much water I've drunk until much later because that should also help with the headache, migraine, whatever the heck I've been dealing with. But so that whole combination was absolutely delicious. Like it was, you've just got the noodles, and I think it uses like a chili oil of sorts. There's like green onions, garlic. Oh, ho, ho, ho. I loved it. I like absolutely loved it, and I've got to make my own version of that recipe at some point because I can just see that being so good. I had a bit of water, and I just have some Greek yogurt, and I put some cocoa powder, a little bit of maple syrup to sweeten it up because it's unsweetened cocoa powder, and blueberries, and then I've got a cup of coffee. So I've got my HelloFresh. This is one of the pastas. I'm just probably going to eat it all day because I just need to use up all of my HelloFresh. So I've got that, and I have got an orange Celsius. As you can see, I was able to stay under calorie today, even at the I was able to stay under calorie even without the exercising I did, which is pretty good. I'm of course a little bit hungry, but it's something that it happens if I'm eating such low calories because I would want to be losing weight. It happens. I do have things like I need to pre-portion probably some of the baby carrots, not because of the thing of I have to make sure I know exactly. It's just if I have them already in a Ziploc baggie, I'm more likely to grab them than the fact they're my crisper, that kind of thing. The big thing today though was I did drink the full 64 ounces, although the last 32 I drank very quickly. Earlier this morning I slowly drank it, and then later that evening, tonight, I kept on being I need to get up and fill up my water bottle. I never did. Dinner was pretty much the same thing I had for lunch. The only thing that was added was I just had a little bit of a cheese wedge. I usually like to say under for a couple of days, not a lot under, but a little bit under, in the idea of having a little bit more buffer for those days when I do eat over. For dinner, I have made another HelloFresh. This is their pecan crusted chicken with the salad, and then I have a decaf coffee that in a little bit, once it has, I've drunk a little bit of it, I'm going to put some bourbon in it. So as you can see today, I was just a little under theoretically, or if you go off of just without including any sort of steps I did, because I wear a Fitbit, so it counts a lot of my steps. I was a little bit over. I kind of go in the middle. My phone also does has a step counter, and so I usually base it off of that one because it is lower and usually a little bit closer. I think on my phone it was about 70 calories to have burned from all the walking I did. So I was okay, a little bit of grace. I mean, also maybe this is me making excuses. Probably is. That first week of trying to like lose weight, I don't have usually a lot of willpower to handle it. I usually struggle a lot, and I really hate that, like, the hunger feeling, and I work with it. I try to work through it, but it's things like, as you can see, I had a snack today. Like, you can see here, I had some veggies for snacks as a way to try to combat it. Breakfast, God, I'm all over the place, but breakfast was going to a coffee shop with a friend. So I had my normal morning coffee, ran over to the coffee shop, had a bagel there because I was like, I still need to eat something or I'm going to be obscenely hungry. So had that and more coffee. I cut back a little bit. And then for lunch, it was the lean cuisine pizza because I just didn't want to cook, but I was in my apartment, so I just did that. It's one of my favorites. I honestly like all of the lean cuisine pizzas because they're just like easy, delicious. The dough is a little weird, but like, whoops. The dough is a little weird, but like, it's good. And then lastly, I had, as you guys saw, the decaf coffee plus the HelloFresh meal. This was the last one. I actually pretty much ate through all of my HelloFresh meals for once in a week, so that was good for me to do. It's a pretty decent meal, and I did treat myself to a little bit of bourbon. It was the Yellowstone bourbon because I have a lot more of that one than I do of the other ones, and so that pushed me over, but also it was just kind of nice to sit down, have the decaf coffee and with the bourbon in it. It was a good way of using the bourbon. So yeah, that was my day really about eating. I'm just getting used to it again. Like, once I get a little bit more used to eating less, if I remember from the other times I've lost weight, it was a lot better. Another morning, and we're gonna do another thing of the blueberries, chocolate, vanilla, yogurt, and yeah. I forgot to record, but this is the soup I made, and then you just add the sour cream, the cheese, and the chips, and it's delicious. Yeah, I know, my hair is an absolute mess. I need to wash it, but that'll be a tomorrow thing. So, as you can see, I was under calories, even under calories with the fact that, like, on my phone, not on my Fitbit, it said my calories should be only about 170. Still, I'm under, which is good. I always like that. I also did weigh myself today, which was like a random day, but I was just like, this is going to be motivation for me if I am weighing myself and I've lost the weight. And it did help. That's also why the calories are a little bit lower. Not by much, but just enough. I'm at 188 exactly. I think the big thing that has helped is just the fact that I was drinking so much water. It was just like flushing out my system, so I was not retaining water weight. So that's good. Breakfast, as you saw, was the yogurt, which it's low calorie but delicious. I also have realized I have not been drinking nearly as much coffee as I had been. I got out of the habit of it. I may have mentioned this earlier, but I think I've gotten out of the habit of drinking as much coffee when I was back home. Lunch was what had been dinner the night before because I was getting another HelloFresh package today, so wanted to eat it all up. This is also the first week in month, at least, of getting HelloFreshes that I ate everything like before the next one came, which it's really bad and I shouldn't have been doing that and it's wasteful of food, but that's just kind of what was happening. I also did cook another HelloFresh meal that I got. That one was 160, and then I also had 2 glasses of Prosecco. I had been able to budget it in for my calories, so that's good. Water, I may have a little bit more water tonight, but I had about 60 ounces because I just couldn't. I forgot to put it in there, but I had a sparkling water, so that could possibly count as more fluids, maybe not, I don't know. So I had ordered tacos because it's just one of those nights, and I have been stressed, so I'm kind of eating feelings, but also I had budgeted for today to be a little bit more of a expensive calorie day. So I didn't take photos / screenshots / record the last bit. You guys saw I had tacos. I also had like the beans and rice with it. And I had a couple of Vizzies because why not? Things I did have, say breakfast and lunch were kind of small and then I had some Kit Kats and ice cream, and it was just bad. And I just, except for probably what explicitly I had for dinner, it was decent in terms of calorie control because I went with lower calorie based things, and I put, for example, those Kit Kats in the freezer, so I wasn't going to eat more. But yeah, this was not a good day at all for me. I didn't record anything for what I ate because I ate so badly again. I ended up going to 2 different distilleries, so I had one old fashioned and a couple of samples and another pour just to try out, and then just generally food, both a place called Mammy's, and I had a Reuben there with chips. It was okay. And I had a sweet tea, and then I had A&W because I just needed something on the drive back because I was in Bardstown, so there's not a lot of healthy options there. So yeah. So it's Sunday, and same as the past 2 days, I have not recorded anything. Breakfast was actually ramen because I wanted to eat something before my drive. It was ramen and coffee. And with the ramen, I always pour out a lot of the liquid because I don't want it all there. And then for lunch, it was actually IKEA because I was at IKEA with a friend and I got the plant balls. So with that one, they have the like vegetarian meatball, so there's no meat. It's like pea protein, but they have it with the normal gravy, and they have it with the mashed potatoes and peas. So it's all the good stuff, just plant-based instead. And then I had some of the ice cream that they have. Then I had those noodles again because they're so good. Those noodles are so darn good. I love it. And then I was drinking a bit. Like I finished off the Prosecco and everything. It was bad week. I did not plan that with recording, but I'm going to show it. I'm going to be honest about it. Hopefully, I'm going to try to, again, not record, but like at least on my own FitnessPal, record everything so I can work to keep myself on track. The more and more I do on that, the better I'll get, hopefully. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked it. I know it was kind of a fail of recording what I ate in a day, but if you're actually watching it, sure. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!